Students, hello. My name is Randy Dobson, and I will be your instructor for this continuing education course here at Lone Star College. And I want to kind of navigate the course to give you an idea of how it's conducted. And after this, if you still have questions, please ask. I do encourage questions. Now, the first part of my screens are probably going to look different than yours because I'm an instructor, but once we get into the course, it'll all look the same. So the first thing, of course, is to go into the Lone Star website and go up to My Lone Star. And with that, you will log in with your information, whatever that is. Once you've logged in, if you've completed the orientation online, your course will show up when you go to LSC Online. And let me go one more here to Brightspace D2L. And of course, yours won't show a list like mine because I teach a bunch of courses, but you should see this course right here, DFTGC 210-1401, Dynamic AutoCAD Introduction 2023 Summer. Once you see that, once we get into this one, this should all be about the same. I'm going to open this course up, and here it opens up to your announcements. Now, of course, some of y'all's might not have like course management or some other things over here, but the bulk of them are the same. This is where all the announcements will go. Anything coming up, maybe I'm going to have a tutoring class or students have questions, I will reply to them here if they send them to me in an email. Now, as far as your activities, the content, the grades, and the collaboration are really the only three that you're going to be dealing with. Under collaboration is email and discussions. Now, right now, I haven't created any discussion forums, but I will be putting one up there for students if they have a question. Maybe they're struggling with something, and feel free to put that up there. I try to respond to emails fairly quickly, but it doesn't hurt to ask a fellow student, and so you can put it there if you want. And of course, we've got the email, which is the only other things under that you will be dealing with. Okay. Content is probably the major part of it, where you have your syllabus, the information you need to read, the assignments, textbook options. This is where you go to watch the YouTube video list, class recordings if I have to do any. And then I'll be putting this list up as the course progresses. That's just for y'all's information. There's nothing on there that you'll be taught about. The first thing is the syllabus, and I'm going to pull that over here real quick because I've got it open. The syllabus, you will notice, okay, has 4 modules, and those 4 modules pretty much follow along with the 4 weeks of the course. Now, granted, the course isn't exactly 4 weeks long, so we could say it's a module for every 6 days. Okay, module 1, this means that these assignments should be done by 6 days from the first class, and then the second one 6 days from, and so on, 12 days of class, 18 days of class, 24 days of class. And that's if you want to stay on schedule. If you get a little behind, don't worry about that, because sometimes, you start off a race slow and then you speed up toward the end. But in this case, just take them one at a time. And just like on this first one, here it says problems 1 and 2, nothing to turn in on these problems. So all you really need to do is send me an email and put module 1A and say, I've completed this, Mr. Dobson, and I will give you credit for it. The first one's all on the honor system. The questions You will answer those. You don't need to write the questions. I already have the questions. Just write the answers. You can type them up. You can handwrite the answers and take a picture of it. Whatever's easiest for you. Now, let me minimize this here for a second. Hopefully you've already noticed that the syllabus follows along with the assignments. Like here you've got 1A, 1B, 1C. So if you go to, let me go to one that's a little bit more challenging here. Let's go to problem to 2A. And when I open up 2A, you will see a mistake. I need to actually fix that. Let me go back down to somewhere they got messed up. Students, sorry for that gap in the video. For some reason, Lone Star kept some old files up, so I'm going to had to replace them real quick. So getting back to where I was, again, I apologize that Lone Star kept my old files. You will see that the file name, and I actually had to adjust the file name. Instead of it saying Module 2C, it says Intro Module 2C, but you'll be able to figure that out. Here it says problems 4 and 6, so I've kind of marked through the other ones. So you will do 4, you will do 6. During this course, the intro course, you do not have to do any text or any dimensioning unless you want to. If you want to experiment with it, you can go ahead and do that. We will get more into that in the intermediate course. But for now, my main goal is to have you create the object. That in itself will be time consuming for you. But again, getting back to the syllabus, just like here with Module 3A, if you go to Module 3A and open it up, and you will have problems 5, 6, and 9 to do. There's 5, there's 6, and then there is 9. Okay, and again, you do not have to do the dimensions or the text. They're there just to help you create the objects. Now, once you complete a drawing, a DWG file, I would prefer that you email them to me as you complete them. And that's really more for your sake than mine, because let's say you decide, hey, I'm going to do the whole module and send all that whole module to Mr. Dobson at one time. Okay, well, I'm going to play devil's advocate here and say you're working on module 1 and you get to problem 8 and your computer crashes or something happens and you lose all this work. Okay, you're going to have to go back and redo it again. But if you would have sent them to me each time you finished them, then we have a record of it in the email. You have it in your send file, I have it in my receive file. So again, depending on if you're a gambling person or not, because even like with this first module, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 assignments plus the questions, so 7 assignments. You know, if you lose all of those or something happens, you accidentally delete them, then you've got to redo them again. So I recommend that you do them, when you finish problem 1, of course, everything will be its own individual file. Problem 1 will be its own file. Problem 2 will be its own file. Problem 3 will be its own file. So as you're working through those, think about that and just send them to me. I prefer that you put the module name number in the subject line, but that's not a big deal. Just remember, my naming process is I want your last name in the file name, your last name, the module number, and the problem number. Okay, if it's a review questions, you can just put your last name, module, and just put CRQ for chapter review questions. And that is something that I do not to be picky about anything. And I know of a couple of the students, current students that are working for companies, and they will tell you that that company has a naming standard. A file has to be named a certain way. Okay, so it's just preparing you to become a CAD operator and the standards and rules that a company's going to have for you. Okay, so think about that. Let's get back to where we were here under content. So I've had to replace all of those. The YouTube video list. Okay, that is a list of where you go to watch the videos. You can watch them in whatever order you want. Okay, let me open up a page here real quick and go to YouTube. And you go to the YouTube command to the YouTube, and of course you have this is my channel, and for the most part you can go to the playlist and your videos will be under the Introduction to AutoCAD. These are all ones that I've created. They run about 3 to 7 minutes long, depending on how intense, and it goes over just a specific command. If you're still confused after watching the videos, let me know, and I can work with you on that. But that is under YouTube. You do not have to subscribe to me. I don't get paid from YouTube for any of this. But for now, you have to go into YouTube to look at the videos. And this is kind of a list of the ones. And this kind of gives you some ideas of which ones to look at in kind of a rough order, depending on how your brain works. You might have to hop around a little bit. The goal is for you to go into a problem and watch the videos and determine what you need to create that drawing. Okay, if I give you these assignments, let me pull one up here real quick, like this one, and you're looking at it, and this one's going to actually deal with layers, but you see lines and you see, you want to know how to use the line command or the line type. So I don't hold your hand as you're creating these drawings because everybody's brain works differently. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and show you how to draw this because then all you become is a mini-me, okay, of myself. So I want you to, it would be just like if I had all of y'all give you a stack of wood, a hammer, some nails, a saw, measuring tape, a pencil, and said, okay, I want you to build a doghouse. Okay, here's the plans to build that doghouse. I'm not going to show you how to do it. You're going to have to figure out how to create that using those. I will show you how the tools are used, the saw, the measuring, the hammer and the nails, all of that. But as far as putting it together, that's where I leave it up to you. And again, the reason I do this is because that's what's going to happen when you get a CAD job. They're going to give you stuff, and some of the times it's going to challenge you. It may not be something you're used to, but they're going to expect you to step up for the challenge and do it. Everything that I do in this course is based off of working at a company. As I've said in my introduction, and actually today, June 6th, is my anniversary of starting in this business 46 years ago, June 6, 1977. 4 days after I graduated from high school, I went to work at TxDOT. And the one thing I can say is I know what companies look for in an employee and what they're expecting. And that could be back then when I did everything by hand with ink on Mylar, with T-squares and triangles, to using AutoCAD. Okay, so nothing that I'm having you do is a personal thing. It is all based off my experience working at companies, different companies around Houston and around the country. So again, and then of course the last one is the grades. I will get the grades up here soon. You can check your grades. Remember, this course is a pass or fail. I'm looking to make sure that you're understanding the material. There's no test that you take. It is based off of what I see in the work that you do. Okay? Uh, so if you get stuck, ask me a question. Let me know. If your computer goes down, don't tell me a week after it went down that it went down, because I can't go back in time. Okay? And so if you're, I don't need to know personal information. If you're just having, I'm having a personal problem, that's fine. At least communicate with me. Communication is an enormous thing between you students and myself. Okay, so again, after watching this video, uh, you can start working on your assignments. Again, to keep pace, there's no actual due dates. You don't want to wait till the very end to try to get it all done, because that's when computer issues will come up, or you know, who knows what. Uh, but go ahead and watch this again if you need to, and also, as I mentioned before, ask questions if you've got them. Thank you very much.